I remember when I was down here as an orc.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Because you have to come up out of the trap and...
No, I was doing stuff from the trap one at the end of the show. But I had to come down here in my mask and everything.
Oh, I bet that was tough.
Made it super
We
hard
used
to
to
breathe.
run Christmas lights.
Hey, is there anyone that's
Up and down
claustrophobic?
the
Can I close the
hall.
store?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you
close
can
it.
close the door, that's fine.
Okay.
If you want to.
No.
Just don't stand on
Just
it.
don't like drop it hard.
Murder somebody.
Yeah, do drop it carefully.
Wouldn't it be weird? Have you guys ever seen the movie?
Oh, okay. Are you guys on the stage?
What the hell is that movie?
Okay.
The paranormal... No. It's the spoof on Ghost Adventures. but
Grave
it's
Encounters.
Grave
Yeah,
Encounters.
Yeah, I
You've
saw
seen
it.
that?
Wouldn't that be
Where they
creepy?
could never get out.
Yeah, the minute that
Yeah.
trap door closes, like, we think it's been 15 minutes, but it's been like
Yeah, it's been
a
like-
week.
Yeah.
We just have to crawl through this thing all night.
And right now, people are like
Mhm.
looking for us outside.
It's been days.
And it's been days.
Chunga, do you remember the lady that called into the radio show and told the really, really scary story about the rocking chair?
Mm-hmm.
The old home, like in Grantsville or something.
With the lady that would walk in the house?
Yeah.
Is that the one? She would
And
walk
she'd
in the
walk
house and look at the baby?
upstairs. Yes.
That's one of the scariest stories.
You guys
I
remember
know.
it well enough
Can you
to...
tell it?
I'll tell it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
I
guys.
would love to hear it.
So we did this thing on the show where for 2 days out of the year, Halloween, and the
I'm
day
not
before,
asking
we'd have
any.
listeners call up with their ghost stories. And for the most part, it was like really, for me, it was like watching grass grow because people, and then like there's this dude, and then it was like so super like rad, and so I'm just sitting in the studio just in agony.
Yes.
Hang it up on people.
You'd say,
Yeah.
please don't call unless your story's really good.
Or I would tell them, look, just lie.
Just lie. Make it good.
Just make it up.
So anyway, so this woman calls out of the blue and she says, well, I have one, but I'm really kind of reluctant to tell it because there's still a bit of an investigation pending. So immediately I'm like, hello. So I said, no, but it's okay, go ahead, and we indemnify you. We you're not held responsible. This is all speculation. And so she goes, well, I live in this house that's in, I thought it was in Fillmore or something like
Well,
that.
yeah, it was somewhere.
Small town.
Yes, it was
Somewhere
very
weird.
small.
And she said, she goes, my husband has always wanted to live in a small town. And so we saved up for years and we bought this house. And it's a big kind of Victorian house that was obviously owned by a well-to-do family back in the 1800s. It was built by a well-to-do family. We don't know anything about it. And we move into this house and everything is great. And then I'm sitting in my rocking chair one night, and my newborn baby is upstairs asleep in her crib. And as I'm reading, and all she goes, I've got the window screens pulled up, and the front door is kind of open, but the storm door is closed. So I've got this warm summer air blowing through the house, and I'm just really enjoying my new house. I hear the storm door open, the screen door open, and then close. So I look up from my book, and I see a woman in a long Victorian dress float through my entryway and float up the stairs and down the hall towards my baby's room.
Mm.
And she goes, and I was just frozen in fear. And I just didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And so I didn't say anything to anybody. And then the next day, the very same thing happened. And so the third day, she says, I'm going to follow this woman and see what this is. And so she hears the storm door open and close. And she kind of slowly creeps up behind it, and she sees the woman turn and go down the long hallway and go into the baby's room. And the woman goes into the baby's room, and so the mom peers around the corner to see what the woman is doing in her baby's room, her actual baby who's taking a nap. And she sees the woman peering in the crib at the baby.
Oh my gosh.
And the woman turned and looked at her and disappeared. The very next day,
Oh, I
the
just got chills
same
so bad.
thing happened. And so she was watching this, and then one night, she was awoken in the middle of the night, and she heard footsteps, and so she went and looked out in the hall, and there was the woman walking out of the baby's room. So she's like, something is definitely wrong with this house. Why does this woman keep looking at my baby? Does this ghost want to take my baby? What's the problem? So the wife is freaking out. the husband's like, oh, you're imagining things, as always. And then they said, well, there's got to be something up with this house. And so they start researching the house, and they found out that it was owned by, when Fillmore was the capital of Utah. So it was Fillmore, I remember this. The head judge, the U.S. judge over the entire state, built and lived in this house. And he moved away under suspicious circumstances. His wife and his baby mysteriously disappeared. And he claimed it was Indians, and he claimed that they were never found again, and all this kind of stuff. So the wife wants to move. The husband is like, no way. She starts having weird dreams about the basement. So the basement, if you know anything about old Victorian homes, the basement was basically just earth.
What
What does it say?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yep.
A name.
Maybe
That's
that
weird.
was.
So anyway, so this family starts doing research, and they found out that only half of their basement floor was filled in with dirt, and they can't figure out why. So they go down in their basement, and half of the basement is there, and then half of the basement is just earth, big, just floor to ceiling, just dirt. So they start digging, start excavating, and sure enough, they find a woman's skeleton and a baby's skeleton
Oh, jeez.
in the dirt. Yeah. And this, 100-plus-year-old murder mystery is solved. The judge killed his wife and his baby and then skipped town. Yeah.
Was this house a bed and breakfast?
I think it was actually, yeah.
I know exactly which house that
I think it is now, yeah.
Let's go, Jess.
And they were out of there.
All
I mean,
right,
when they
he's
found
going
that
to my
out,
hometown.
when they found that out, they skipped town. They got out of there. They were just like, no way. And so this woman told the story on a show. And it's one of the few times where I just kind of forgot that I was doing a show. I just kind of sat there on the other end with my headphones on, and then she finished, and it was just silence, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm working. 'Cause it was so captivating the way that she told this story. But I still think about it. That's funny that you brought that up.
Well, because I
Mr.
still
Lindsay.
think about it too. It's
I
like
was
one of
just
the stories
gripped.
that's like
just
always stuck with
so,
me.
yeah. I mean, one of the scariest, and the way that she told it, it's just, you know how it is with people. There's absolutely no way she could have told that story had it been third party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the detail that she had, and just the different things that she said, you can clearly tell by the way that she's talking that this happened directly to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just a creepy, creepy story.
That's a good one.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
That was, it's a house that's right across the street from the state capitol, actually.
Yeah.
That would make
And
sense.
unlike Dino's, where Dino's Pizza used
Yeah.
to be.
I know Dino's Pizza really well,
Yeah.
actually.
So I think it's that white Victorian house that's right there.
She did say something about it being a bed and breakfast now.
Because, yeah, it's
So-
a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
No, let's go stay there.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Fillmore.
All right, let's do it.
That
Well,
poor woman
I think
going
that
up there
once
to
they
check on
found
the
the
baby. Like, I
bodies-
just feel
It
sad for
stopped?
her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing malicious, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
Then their murder was solved.
Well, and there's a whole theory
Or
about
just her
residual
compulsion.
hauntings, and residual hauntings are different. I don't know what I think about that, but it's basically like a tape playing over.
Right.
It's not intelligent. It's almost just like this really sad piece of energy that's just kind of stuck in time, playing over and over and over again. But the lady did say that while the woman was peering in the crib and looking at the baby, she turned and looked at her and then disappeared. So, who knows if it
Yeah.
was residual or not.
Yeah.
Did she say, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
By the way, for the record, if anybody ever wants to play Xbox with me, my username is Hoagie1Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why is this the first time I'm hearing your Xbox username? Because no one wants to play with Jess.
I'm going to change it now.
Oh,
Screw you,
Jess.
I'll play
Because
PS4 with
Because I
you.
don't want to play
Okay.
with Jess.
You don't play PS4 with me.
I know. I'm
So
busy.
what is this thing that said a name in the middle of it?
Yep.
What is this one?
This is called the Ovulus 3, and it's been pretty freaky in how accurate it's been throughout the I don't know, about 2 years that I've had it. Jess and Spinari and I specifically have had just incredible luck with it. And it takes, once you turn it on, it takes almost no training. It's got a full Webster's dictionary loaded into it. And there's different electromagnetic frequencies that are attached to each word. How that happens, I don't know, but we were at the Benson Grist Mill last week, and Jess and I were out there taking a tour to get it ready. And I had it in my pocket, and I hear it say something, and I pick it up, and it says store, and my eyes look up, and it says country store. As my eyes, you know, it's just tonight, we saw some toys move downstairs. We all jumped, freaked out, had a good laugh. And as we were all laughing, we hear it go, blah, blah, blah. And so I looked down, and I asked the girl that was holding it, I said, what did it say? And she goes, oh my gosh. I said, what does it say? She goes, it says laugh. So it's been really, really freaky. It measures the amount of basically spirit energy that's in the room. Green means there's no spirits present. Red means it's going to talk. You can tell that this is just one-off.
Yeah.
So we're probably not alone as we're sitting in here.
Well, heard that thing's lit up.
That
Yeah.
keeps going off.
Is this the one that, like, on a prior ghost hunt that you were on that, like, kept saying your name and swearing at you?
No, that was actually the spirit box, which I do have.
Was
And-
it saying Chunga or was it saying?
No,
Brett?
it said Brett Smith, which is my real name,
Yeah.
and it said Spinari's real name. And then Jess was there both times that it really went
Yeah.
nuts.
You're
Because,
welcome.
well, I just think it's weird that it would say your real name.
Oh, yeah.
Just because when you're on a ghost hunt, especially with like listeners and stuff, like everyone just knows you as Chunga, you know.
Well, and I introduce myself always. I say I have kind of a funny name. My name is Chunga, and then it says Brett Smith.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
gosh.
Like right when I said that.
And then wasn't it telling you to like F off and get out of
Jess,
there?
it was telling
Yeah.
Jess. It was doing it to Jess too.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
We had
How do you stick around when something's doing that?
Well, the one time we didn't.
I have a lot of cojones.
We had when we
Just
were
like
at Fort
JR.
Douglas. We were at Fort Douglas. I wish Spinari was here because he's got the picture, the demon picture. We actually captured it
Really?
on camera. Yeah, Kenny, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah. We had Jess was in the room. Ben